Hello, dear friends. Here we are for another study or for another conversation about one of the articles of the Spiritist magazine. We're with you live or on demand, whichever way it suits your schedule. We are here on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, you can always find us later on the YouTube playlists and on the Facebook playlists. What a blessing to be with you today. And we're going to be talking about an article from issue 43 of the Spiritist magazine. Before I show you how to get the Spiritist magazine, welcome. Please make sure you leave your comments, your questions. We are always happy to answer them. My name is Sheyne Martin. I'm here with the Spiritist Magazine program. I broadcast to you from the Spirit Society of Richmond in Richmond, Virginia. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be with you. And as always, we'd like to remind everybody that if you're able to visit spiritistmagazine.org. That's the website you would find if you were to go to the website of the Spiritist magazine. I'm going to share with you the way the website looks, a beautiful publication by an international Spiritist council where we have 13 years of continuous publication of issues about the Spiritist doctrine in English. Many of the articles you're going to see on the magazine can be used at home by you and your family and your loved ones or whoever you live with to study, to enlighten yourself, and also for doing a gospel at home, for example. If you visit spiritistmagazine.org, you would have different places you could go. Here, you could go visit the Facebook page of the Spiritist magazine and like that page as well. Our efforts are 100% volunteer time from the spirits who coordinate the work of the writers, the editors, to us who present to you the teachings inside the magazine. So if you'd like to donate in order to continue that effort, here you have the donate button. You also have a link to the App Store or to the Google Play Store where you can download the app for the Spiritist magazine that you can have on your phone or on your tablet. And here under PDF download, you can find all of the issues of the Spiritist magazine. And you can scroll down. Today we're going to look at issue 43, which is this one here. And once you find the issue you want, you can just say go to link. And when you go to link, it's going to download to your device as well. And that's what many of us read the magazine. You can download it to your phone, download it to your computer. And here it is. Beautiful publication, high quality. Can be found nowhere else in the world. And here we are. And I'm going to show this to you because sometimes we have new people and we want to make sure. If you ask me, where can I find this? Spiritistmagazine.org. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be with you. And I'm going to share with you today's article is from issue 43, which has beautiful content about abortion, about suicide in children. Very, very important topics for us to discuss. This issue was published in 2018. However, all of these articles are very much of relevance for us today. In today's article, as I'm going to scroll down to the article and I'm going to read it from here. Very easy to read. I'm going to show it to you. It's titled Divine Surprise. We have previously discussed this one, Blessed Always, in a different program by the Spirit Sheila. And today we're going to be talking about Divine Surprise. Isn't that beautiful? This is from the Spirit Dolores, Maria Dolores, through the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier. This is from a This is from a book and a CD from the Spirit Society of Baltimore. If you were to their website, ssbaltimore.org, you would find this beautiful CD you can play as you are going through driving to and from. And here we have, this is the article we have today to discuss. I'm going to make just parts of it to appear. Isn't that beautiful? So let's see what Maria Dolores has to say to us. Today is articles an invitation for you and I, as here in the United States, we have the hope, and we have hopes and dreams all over the world to going back to a stage where things are a little bit more normal, more what we used to. And as we open up, as we do more things, and we expand our ability to move without putting anybody else at risk, this article is going to invite you to reach those who are in need. It's really an important article for us to look at as we are in the phase of planetary transition. It's important that we find ways to help everyone. The CD has a beautiful voice, beautiful narration with music. So we encourage you to look for those contents and nourish your souls, nourish your ability to be in connection with the superior spirits. Maria Dolores will say, good fraternal soul, if the impulse to pray blesses you, whenever you wish to pray to seek the Lord's security, do it anywhere. The law of worship. You and I can pray here, there, elsewhere, everywhere, during the day, during the night, standing, lying down, doing things, driving, taking care of family members, friends, in our daily interactions while we are, for example, going to the grocery store. We can pray that everyone in that building, from the people who restock, from those who drive the food in, to those who check out in the cashier, we can pray that good spirits populate that environment. Then when we're cooking the food we brought in, we can visualize the food being of nourishment for the body as we buy the best food we can. And we think about those who don't have food, and food insecurity is a big issue in the world. Therefore, we open our hearts up to be of service everywhere we go. If you feel the impulse to pray, do it anywhere. She will say the entire earth is an open temple for the inspiration that pours from heaven. Look around you, dear friends. Question 4 of the Spirit's book. The first chapter of the Spirit's book talks about God. And in that chapter, you're going to talk about this. Kardec will ask the spirits how we can know of the presence of God. The spirits will reply, look around, look at all that God has created. Look at nature as an open temple for the inspiration that pours from heaven. The beauty of nature all around us, that's what's important. Not only for our physical health, mental health, emotional health, also for our spiritual health, to feel inspiration and take care of the environment that beautifies and makes our lives much better. She will say, but to find the master that you seek, dear soul, come down to life's valley of tears, where comfort is late to arrive, where the pain of indigence and the tears of widowhood roam along the path's edge, extending a strong arm to the ones who wander without direction and who are lost in the nostalgia of a home life that has disappeared. Yes, look around. Feel the need to provide for your family. Feel the need to fulfill the objectives that you have in this life. Yet, in order for us to find the master, we need to go down to the valley of tears. What did Jesus do when he was on the earth with us? He was always serving. If you go to the accounts of the apostles in the New Testament, in the book Good News, the book Jesus in the Home by Neil Lucio and many others, you will see that Jesus was always reaching down to the valley of tears, giving people consolation and teachings of the kingdom to come, and providing them with the nourishment for their souls and bodies that they needed. It's valid that the law of preservation and the law of reproduction allows us to care for the ones we love and for our own selves. We need to take care of our own selves, our physical bodies, so that we can be a better vessel to fulfill the will of God in this world. Yet, we need to look beyond us. It's about time that we remove some of our own needs, give the access of what we have to all of those who are around, who are in need of help. There is so much need in the world today. Everywhere we go, we need to go down to the valley of tears. And what do we do when we look for those who are in need? We listen to the ones who go during the cold and windy night without being able to tell about their own suffering. There's lots of people who don't have heat, who in the summer they won't have AC, people are homeless, those who are facing eviction, those who are very insecure in their physical needs. They hunger for care and understanding. If we can do the physical charity, we should, but if we are unable to due to our own circumstances, we need to reach out and look, because they hunger for care and understanding. Stop and hug the child that is consumed by disdain and wiped out by disease. There's so much need in our own homes, in our neighborhoods, and sometimes it's very humiliating for folks to reach out and say, I need. Because sometimes we feel like we need to provide and do everything and be the superhero all the time. Yes, we are, but we also need to be humble enough to know that God makes God itself known through all of us. So when we reach out to others, we are being a blessing to them and gives them the opportunity to exercise self-awareness, knowing what one's need, knowing what you can provide to others, and being humble enough to say, I need help. Please help me, God, and God will send someone to help us. Stop and assist in clothing, healing, and feeding these small flowers. So many orphanages, so many foster children we could help, so many children all over the world displaced by war, who are dying of malnourishment and hunger. Yes, it's Tuesday night. I don't want to talk about difficult things, but we have to, dear friends. In the world, it's imperative that we put ourselves in the shoes of others and think, if I were to be reborn next life, displaced by war, famine, displaced by gang activity, wouldn't I want someone who has more to look and see, okay, I could give up certain things so that person can have more? What a blessing would that be, right? So we need to think of ourselves as immortal spirits, because many other lives we may have been the one who was sick and crying, so we would like someone to hear the cry of the sick person. That could be you and I. If we're not careful, we might end up in a hospital who has nothing but dust and tears as a bed in a narrow corner of the land of no one. Imagine those who don't have a home, who live on the street. Sometimes we say, oh, well, if they only worked, if they this. What if we look at the systemic problems we have in the world, the systemic difficulties that keep people where they are, the mental illness, the physical illnesses, and if we were sick and destitute, we want to be the one who had help from someone to hear our cries. Be aware of the cries of those in the height of anguish, the sad hearts torn apart by slander. How many times where we said something to someone, or we may not have physically hurt them, or we hurt their reputation. We criticize the way they do things at work. We criticize the way they do things in the Spiritist Center. So we need to be the ones who hear the cries of those who are anguished, because sometimes the pain is not visible as you see someone at the traffic light asking for money, but sometimes the hurt is inside, and people look okay in the outside, and then we need to be mindful of that. Maria Dolores will say, go where there is affliction, offer to each sufferer a gift of love, and there you will see a divine light, sweetly irradiating peace, goodness, and joy. And where in the world there is no affliction, even in the nicest neighborhoods with all the comforts, there might still be affliction in there. There might still be problems that we can see. And if you give the gift of love to each and every sufferer, see each and every person as a child of God that they are, with the divine potentials that they have, but also understanding if we are on the earth, there's a chance that you and I have something that we might be going through, a difficulty. So let's give this gift of love wherever we go. Remember the physical and spiritual alms. Everywhere we go, we can be a blessing to someone with a good word, a prayer, an acknowledgement, listening to folks, so on and so forth. From this light, remember the gift of love and this divine light, sweet and irradiating peace, goodness, and joy. When we go to a place, we should be that radiating peace, goodness, and joy. And let's not go and add to the suffering and add to the comments, but what do you think you're suffering? When I was doing this, is a lot of folks want to top the suffering or emphasize the suffering. Let's always see the good and radiate peace, goodness, and joy. Let's commit to start today to go to the valley of tears, and look for ways we can serve. Less enjoyment, less doing for our own selves, and a balance with service towards others. Going beyond our circle of influence in our homes to the neighborhoods, and ultimately you can pray and be radiating peace, goodness, and joy with your group for the entire world. From this light, the deepest part of your trust and soul will hear Jesus tenderly say, quote, "Dear soul, come. I hear your voice in prayer everywhere. I must, however, await you in the fields of goodness. You said I was right in knowing that God loves and understanding through you. You looked so far away for me, and all along I waited you close by. Good soul, I am here." So let's not just look and say, "Oh, when I'm in the spiritual realm, I will work with the good spirits, and one day I will see Jesus. When I retire, when I get a better job, when I get married, when I learn this." Today, Jesus is waiting for you and I close by, within our homes, within our neighborhoods, within our groups, everywhere. Jesus is waiting for you and I to reach out with those gifts of love to all that suffer around us. And he will say, "Good soul, I am here." Can you imagine visualizing? We can end here because it's just a source. We'll say in the book Enlightening Message by several spirits for Chico Xavier, published by the Spirit Society of Baltimore, accessbaltimore.org. Go there and order the CD so you can listen to the messages as you drive. Imagine, visualize Master Jesus looking through our eyes, kindly smiling with the eyes, such as Neil Lucy tells us in the book Jesus in the Home. And he will say to you, "I hear your voice in prayer everywhere." Let's pray that we can be enlightened and inspired to do the good, that we can pray for wisdom to know when to be quiet, when to not engage, when to quench the fears of others and the forces within us to want to fight and want to sow discord. Hear Jesus say, "I wait you in the fields of goodness." Only with service and reaching others, that's where Jesus is. He was always there waiting and helping, and he is today in the spiritual realm with his group of superior spirits that guide the life on the earth. He is at the helm, and he will say, you looked so far away. You and I looked so far away for Jesus and the good spirits and inspiration, yet all along I waited you close by. So as you go about your day, visualize Jesus by your side as your friend, counselor, mentor, saying to you, I hear you. Come to me. I hear your voice. How can we work together as co-creators with God, with Christ in goodness today and always? Dear friends, it's always, always a blessing and an honor to be with you. And I hope that you can visit spiritistmagazine.org where we can, where you'll be able to download this beautiful content. You'll be able to find the sources of the articles, find the button for downloading the app in your phones and devices where you and I can cherish these teachings and we can share the teachings with everyone who comes our way so they can also benefit. I hope that this was helpful to you. Please make sure that you always share this content for anybody who is in need. And let's commit today to find a place and a time where you and I can serve each and every day, evermore. It's about time that we use our divine potentialities to help everything and everyone around our way. Dear friend, it's always a blessing and an honor to be with you. And I hope that until I can see you next week, you stay well, stay safe. May God bless you and your family. Until then, take care of yourself. And if you can, take care of someone else as well. Bye bye, dear friends.